start to dissipate, leaving us with periods of clouds this morning, but sunshine by the time we get to the afternoon. Currently 65 here in Wheeling, with our warm spot of 67 on up into Chester and our cool spot of 16 at Caldwell. So a comfortable start to the morning, but unfortunately won't stay that way as dew points creep back up, and we'll likely see everyone breaking into the mid to low 80s by the time we get to the afternoon. So as we finish out the week and head on into the weekend, we're going to continue to see this mix of sunshine and clouds. More so sunshine today and Sunday, clouds and showers tomorrow. We'll keep temperatures near average, a few days below and a few days above, but unfortunately still hold on to those rain and storm chances, especially for our day tomorrow and for our day on Monday, but should see the return of plenty of sunshine for the middle of next week. I'll have all those details with the full look at my forecast here in just a couple minutes, but for now, back to you, Taylor.
All right, Adam, thanks. Continuing coverage this morning, a Follansbee man is facing criminal charges for allegedly threatening the jury for the Pittsburgh Tree of Life shooting trial. Authorities say 45-year-old Hardy Carroll Lloyd was taken into custody early yesterday. According to the criminal complaint, Lloyd began commenting online about the federal hate crimes trial of the Tree of Life synagogue mass shooter. He allegedly made threatening social media posts and emails towards the jury and witnesses during the trial. Lloyd is charged with obstruction of the due administration of justice, transmitting threats in interstate and foreign commerce, and witness tampering.
The inflation rate increased from 3% in June to 3.2% in July. The statistic breaks a 12-month streak of.
Economists say that while the rise in inflation isn't what we'd like to see, they say it was expected. And they say it just shows how challenging the fight to bring down inflation will be moving forward.
Our plan is working.
President Joe Biden says July's Consumer Price Index report is good news for Americans.
We have more to do, but inflation is now at its lowest point in 2 years.
The new numbers from the Labor Department show prices are up 3.2% from a year ago. Economist Stephen Juneau says while that's only a 0.2% increase from June, some costs remain stubborn.
Services are still sticky. It's not that prices have fallen a lot. It's not that, it's getting cheaper to buy things out there.
The report shows Americans are paying more for food and transportation, which Juneau says will likely continue for some time.
The next couple of reports are likely going to show, bigger increases in energy. So that means higher prices at the pump, higher utility bills. That obviously eats into consumer purchasing power, because those are things you really can't live without.
Bharat Ramamurthy with the White House's National Economic Council says getting the economy back on track takes time. But he says the president's plan is working.
Overall, the picture of the economy we have today is the same that we had a few months ago, which is inflation declining on the right track and jobs and growth continuing to be moving along at a very good clip.
Economists say that bringing inflation down to 3% was the easy part. They say it could take years to continue to bring it down to reach the Fed's 2% goal. For now, in Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki. Back to you.
Anna, thanks. Also across the nation, at least 55 are dead and dozens are hurt as wildfires continue to rage across parts of Hawaii. Strong winds from Hurricane Dora are fanning 3 separate wildfires on the island of Maui. Hundreds of people have been evacuated, and amongst them is a Northeast Ohio native who moved to Hawaii several years ago to start a wedding planning business. Brittany Thorne was evacuated from her home in the upcountry section of Maui Tuesday night. She says the wildfires got worse due to 80-mile-per-hour winds. And among the issues, cell phone towers are down and there's no power.
How quickly it spread was mind-blowing. Around 5 o'clock, that we were watching, but we were more just hiding from the wind, and then all of a sudden we had this one right next to our house. I mean, we had wind advisory, but I don't think anyone was prepared for the amount of wind, certainly up country.
The National Guard has been activated, and the Coast Guard has rescued more than a dozen people who jumped in the ocean to escape the fast-moving flames. Thorne hopes when Hurricane Dora finally leaves the area, crews will be able to get a better handle on the fires.
The results are in for the 2023 West Virginia student assessments, and there's been an improvement. Compared to last year, overall results are showing 44% of West Virginia students are proficient in English, which is a 2% increase. In math, that's another 2% increase, with 35% proficiency, and in science, proficiency increased by 1%. Grade 7 was the only grade to see a drop from 41% to 39%.
And one local lawmaker recently attended their first legislative session this past weekend. Delegate Diana Winzenreed represented West Virginia District 4 in a 3-day special session called by Governor Justice. She was appointed to the House of Delegates back in June to fill the seat vacated by Eric Storch. During the session, lawmakers passed several bills. Some of those included higher starting pay for correctional officers, as well as additional funding for volunteer fire departments. Winzenreed says representing the citizens of Ohio County on the state level was a tremendous honor.
First session was wonderful. I was so honored to be there, and I feel really lucky to have started with that particular special session. It was overwhelming in the best possible way. I was able to attend my first committee meetings and obviously participate in some really important legislation. I personally am looking forward to feedback from this area so that I can represent in the best possible way.
Next up is the interim committee meetings that will run through December. The next regular legislative session will take place in January.
Back to school season is making its return in the coming weeks, and the Wheeling Area Chamber of Commerce held their annual Steak Fry to honor the people that make education possible. Each year, the Wheeling Area Chamber of Commerce Education Committee selects 3 teachers, one from elementary, one from middle, and one from high school to be awarded their Teacher of the Year award. The elementary school recipient was Angela Murphy, middle school was Amy Ritz, and high school was Mary Beth Crenity. They also honored the Williams Lee Scholarship recipient, Wheeling Park student Jeremiah Jones.
Something that we really want to focus on is giving back to education and educators. We have a foundation that we're going to be establishing here in the next few months. So we really want to expand our education opportunities, not only for our members, but also to celebrate our educators and our students and help them find, career placements in colleges. And we really want to just work on our education expansion in the next few years.
WTRF is a proud media sponsor of this event. We have full stories on each of these individual teachers on WTRF.com.
And back to school isn't just a day on the calendar for Brooke County, it's a bash. Staff put together a celebration at the high school that was more than a meet and greet with teachers. Students were treated to a petting zoo, balloon animals, rock climbing walls, and free pizza. Free supplies were also handed out, donated by those who helped out with the county's Stuff a Bus event last month. And that's all before they set off fireworks at 8:30.
We understand, with the economy the way it is, things are tight for everybody. And so we just want to make sure they can come someplace and get what they need. And so when they start on that first day of school, they are doing great.
Firemen were also there to raise the truck ladders and let the younger ones try on their equipment. The 2023 Bruin sports team also made their community debut.
And as you might remember, WTRF was proud to host the No One Walks Alone Veteran Suicide Awareness Walk earlier this summer, raising more than $6,000 for Helping Heroes. Some people ordered t-shirts the day of the event. We now have them here at our studio, and you can pick them up this coming Monday. Our address is WTRF 96 16th Street. And if you can't make it Monday, you can call our office and we can make other arrangements for you, of course. Still to come for you this morning, Governor Mike DeWine is weighing in on the state's next election for abortion rights. Those implications heading into the November election. That story's coming up just ahead, but first, Adam.
Well, it's a dry, calm, and comfortable start to the morning, so expect things to be fairly pleasant for our day today. The snow seems things pretty sticky by the time we get to the afternoon. Let's take another live look outside this morning over the Highlands, where for now we're not seeing a whole lot. We'll just expect a few clouds to roll on through this morning before back to sunshine for the afternoon. The time right now is 5:09, and while you're in your car, you can listen to your local 7 News headlines over on WKKX AM 1600, the Valley's Watchdog Network. We'll be right back.
Storm Tracker 7 weather is presented by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Well, what was a gloomy and wet start to our day yesterday actually turned out quite pleasant, as we did see sunshine return for the afternoon. So the good news is we hold on to that sunshine for our day today, just minus a few passing high cirrus clouds, especially this morning and early this afternoon. 64 is currently our average across the valley, so a calm and comfortable start to the morning for at least now, but we will notice those dew points and temperatures creeping up throughout the day. So by the time we get to lunch, into the mid and upper 70s, with most of us likely maxing out in the low 80s by the time we get to the afternoon. So just a few passing clouds this morning, but should see that clearing out by the time we get to lunch. So really just expect plenty of sunshine throughout the afternoon. So if you can, get outside, enjoy that sunshine while it lasts, as unfortunately there's a pretty good chance to see the return of showers and storms tomorrow afternoon. I'll have a deeper look at those here in just a couple minutes, but for now, let's send it back over to the desk.
All right, Adam, thanks. The time is 5:11 as we look across the region this morning. Governor Mike DeWine is speaking up for Ohio's next election for abortion rights. He's made it clear that he does not agree with the amendment.
And when reporters asked him whether voters would have the final word in November, he said we have to play this out. 7 News State House reporter Natalie Fahmy explains.
In November, voters will decide whether abortion should be legal to the point of fetal viability.
This would make Ohio have one of the most liberal abortion laws in the country.
The amendment that is on the ballot in November is a very common sense, medically based amendment.
Governor Mike DeWine says it's an amendment he can't get behind, calling it radical. And other state leaders like Secretary of State Frank LaRose agree.
Ohioans will see this for what it is. This is not a modest pro-choice kind of an amendment. This is really the most extreme abortion measure in the country, and it's too far for Ohioans.
Claims that this amendment is radical are frankly absurd, because it's really basically continuing the law that we're currently working under.
Lawmakers did pass a 6-week abortion ban that went into effect when Roe v. Wade was overturned. That's currently held up in court. But DeWine says he thinks there will ultimately be an abortion policy that a majority of Ohioans like. When I asked him what that would look like, here's how he responded.
I think we take one issue at a time. What's clearly in front of us is a constitutional, I'll emphasize this again, a constitutional amendment, and that has to be the focus. Once that is dealt with, whatever the results are, then we can deal with other things.
But advocates for the abortion amendment say not to believe a middle ground is on the horizon.
If we do not preserve our right to reproductive health care through this constitutional amendment, you better believe these extremists are going to come back and outlaw abortion.
Again, lawmakers have passed a 6-week abortion ban that's currently held up in court right now, and they have introduced legislation that would make abortion illegal from the point of conception. Natalie Fahmy for 7 News, working for you.
And don't forget, for more regional headlines and all of the latest local and national news, you can always head over to our website at WTRF.com.
Still to come this morning, tragedy continues to strike in Hawaii. We'll bring you the latest details of what we know from the fires coming up next. Adam.
Well, the battle of sunshine and storms continue through the weekend. I'll show you who looks to come out on top for next week. All those details with a full look at my forecast right after the break. We'll be right back.
Yes.
3, 2, 1, 1, 2, check. Hello. Hello. Check.
Hers is a little bit different than mine, but I don't know how to play with frequencies.
What's my frequency versus yours?
Like, it has the same 700, but you have 100 megahertz and I have 500. So it's 470.100 megahertz, and I have 470.500 megahertz.
That's a correct question.
Well, and the problem is even if you went to like box 3, you guys don't have time to recode that.
I'm at 100 as well.
Yeah, I don't know why mine's at 500. His is at 100.
So that's not the issue.
We started putting it over here. I don't even think he's been here all week.
He hasn't.
Mostly the issue with the one that Rebecca's using right now is one we had issues.
Storm Tracker 7 weather is presented by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Well, what was a gloomy and wet start to our day yesterday actually turned out quite pleasant for the afternoon as we saw the return of sunshine and temperatures barely making it into the 80s. We keep the sunshine for our day today, but unfortunately I can't promise the same for the weekend. That's thanks to the slow pressure that is currently starting to move on through parts of the northern plains and northern Midwest. Seeing these showers and storms along the warm front, so as that continues to move on through, can't rule out a stray shower early tomorrow morning, but really the bulk of the activity is going to come along the cold front that moves through tomorrow afternoon. So this back and forth pattern we're going to continue to see, but not for too much longer though. So just a few showers tomorrow and for our day on Monday, but by the time we get to the middle of next week, really not seeing anything in the way of rain chances, possibly by the end of the week, but should see plenty of sunshine in between those rain chances and from Tuesday on through Wednesday next week. Though as we look across the Fort Henry Bridge, honestly not seeing a whole lot, just a few passing clouds and our temperatures still in the mid 60s, but notice those dew points just closely behind in the low 60s. So comfortable for at least now since the sun isn't up. Once we see things really starting to warm up after sunrise, gonna know things pretty warm and sticky for the afternoon. So getting up to just about 82 here in Wheeling with our warm spot 85 up into Chester and our cool spot of 80 on over into Woodsfield. So just mainly clear skies to start the morning. We will see this layer of high cirrus moving later this morning, so expect periods of clouds, periods of sunshine, especially through the afternoon. But the good news is we should keep things dry and relatively pleasant looking and feeling for our day today. Change though comes for our day tomorrow, both precipitation wise and temperature wise. Everyone likely getting into the mid to upper 80s, the warm spot of 89 up into Chester, and a cool spot of 84 into Barnesville, as well as Woodsfield and on over into Millersburg. That's going to be thanks to the warm front, so can't rule out a few showers early tomorrow. Anything with that should remain light, just seeing more so in the way of clouds until we get to the afternoon. So by noon, a few showers and storms along I-77 that could pop up, but notice those darker shades of pinks and purples. Some of those could be producing heavy downpours, some gusty winds, but the good news is those are quick hitters. So by the time we get to 1, 2 p.m., that's completely out of the area. We stay calm throughout much of the afternoon. Spotty stray shower storm can't be ruled out, but much of our activity though comes as we head towards dinner time. So 6 p.m., once again, move through Harrison and Jefferson County, noticing a few more of those heavy to strong storms that could be possible. That likely just continues as unfortunately we move through the evening hours. Because of that potential, Storm Prediction Center has highlighted much of our area tomorrow in that slight risk. So a 2 out of 5 on severe weather scale. And of course, like with most storms, our biggest impacts will just be those heavy downpours and clouded ground lightning. But since they're going to be more clustered of storms rather than a line of storms, can't rule out some gusty winds as well as some small hail of about the size of a pea up to a quarter. Tornado threat relatively low, but I really do expect to see that chance especially drop. So I'm not really expecting anything tornadic. It's more going to be so lightning, winds, and hail throughout our day tomorrow. Sunshine for our day on Sunday, 84, but could see another round of showers and storms come for our day on Monday, but that's just going to roll back out. So really just seeing plenty of sunshine and increasing temperatures through the middle of next week. So 76, mostly sunny on Tuesday, 79, mostly 7 on Wednesday, but then back to the 80s and mostly sunny for our day on Thursday. And taking a look at our pollen report, going to continue to see pollen sit on the medium side for the next couple of days. And of course, don't forget to download our Storm Tracker 7 weather app to have everything you need to know on the go, and tune into our Storm Tracker 7 radio partners at WKKX, the Watchdog on 1600 AM.
All right, the time is 5:20 as we look across the nation. Maui officials now confirm that at least 55 people have died in the tragic wildfires that engulfed the islands this week. That number is expected to grow while an unknown number of people are missing.
The state's governor is calling it the largest natural disaster in the state's history. Jessica Cartalia has more from Maui.
These are the smoldering ruins of the historic Hawaiian city of Lahaina.
We know that many people are suffering. The fatality numbers will climb.
Hawaii Governor Josh Green toured the devastation yesterday.
What we saw was likely the largest natural disaster in Hawaii's state history.
Local officials say no one could have predicted the massive wildfires that struck West Maui this week, fanned by strong winds as Hurricane Dora passed just south of the islands. Lahaina resident Liza Tobias walked back to her neighborhood days after fleeing the flames. She found her home in ruins. Her father Carlos is among the missing.
I wanted to force him to come with me, but he was very hard-headed and he didn't want to come.
Maui County officials are urging residents to stay away, with multiple smaller fires still burning in West Maui and many communities without power and water.
It's still very, very hazardous in the burn areas. Things are falling every minute around us.
Yesterday, President Biden approved a disaster declaration for Hawaii, clearing the way for federal assistance.
Our prayers with the people of Hawaii, but not just our prayers. Every asset we have will be available to them.
Shelters have been set up to accommodate the thousands who are now displaced. The governor says it will take several years and billions of dollars to rebuild. Jessica Cartalia, CBS News, Maui.
FEMA officials are on the ground in Hawaii, and they are urging those affected by the wildfires to register in order to begin receiving federal assistance in the coming days. Hawaii's Senator Brian Schatz also says congressional leaders may take up a bill to help get more federal funding to assist with West Maui's long recovery. Coming up, new data shows America's mental health crisis is worsening. That story and more coming up in your Health Watch 7 report. Your time right now is 5:23 on your Friday. You're watching 7 News this morning, and we'll be right back. Technical problems. No, seriously, I get that it's TV, but it's every day. Welcome back. Welcome back to 7 News. I didn't do anything. Welcome back to 7 News as we look out for your health. Okay. She's switching.
Check.
This is 7 News, working for you.
Welcome back, everyone. The time is 5:25 as we look out for your health this morning. New data shows America's mental health crisis is worsening and how yoga can help people suffering from asthma. Michael George has your Health Watch 7 report.
New data shows that suicides are on the rise in America. The CDC found suicide deaths increased 5% in 2021 and another 2.6% in 2022. Doctors say the nation needs to address what's become a growing mental health crisis. The greatest increases for suicides were among Americans 45 and older. Groups that saw declines in suicide rates include young people and American Indians. The number of people reporting long COVID is decreasing. A new study by the CDC found patients showing symptoms of long COVID declined from June 2022 to January 2023, but also found 1 in 4 long COVID patients still report significant limitations to their daily activities. Overall, about 16% of COVID patients say they have symptoms 1 year after catching the virus. Yoga and breathing exercises can help people with asthma breathe easier. Research published in the journal Annals of Medicine shows that lung function can be improved with regular aerobic training, yoga, and breathing training. In the past, exercise had been considered risky for asthma patients, but the latest research shows it can actually be beneficial if done in consultation with a doctor.
Still ahead in our next half hour.
Still ahead in our next half hour of news, we'll take a look at one local group preparing delicious food for the upcoming Lebanese festival. We'll talk about that. Plus, more places are getting designated Purple Heart parking spots. We'll have that and much more when we come back.
Can you hear me now? Okay, rock it out. How about her?
It's this. I'll turn it off.
This is 7 News This Morning with Taylor Long, Rebecca Little, Storm Tracker 7 weather with meteorologist Adam Fike.
Well, welcome back. The time is now approaching 5:30 on your Feel Good Friday. Noticing things gloomy for our day yesterday, but at least more pleasant and dry for our day this morning. So let's take that live look outside. Currently over Moundsville, where we can see some low-level clouds starting to develop, but up just above that, you can see a few stars trying to poke on through. Don't expect those clear skies to stay here all day, as we'll likely see some clouds develop later this morning. But overall, should continue noticing pretty nice for our day today. Currently 65 here in Wheeling, with our warm spot of 66 down in St. Mary's, and our cool spot of 61 up into Carrollton, through New Philadelphia and on to Millersburg. So it's a calm and comfortable start to the morning for at least now. We'll notice those dew points and temperatures starting to creep up throughout the morning and the afternoon. So unfortunately, we'll notice things pretty warm and sticky later on this afternoon. Most of us get into the low 80s, so 82 here in Wheeling, with our warm spot of 85 up into Chester and our cool spot of 80 on down into Woodsfield. So clear start to the morning. Few clouds try to pass late this morning and early this afternoon, but by the time we get to lunchtime, really all we're seeing is just those fair weather cumulus clouds. And the good news is we should keep things dry throughout the day today until we get to tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to turn a little bit more stormy and gloomy, but also pretty warm to hot as well. Most of us in the upper 80s, but very good chance we'll see some showers and storms develop during the afternoon. Just know any of those could produce some heavy downpours and some strong gusty winds. That time frame should mainly be between that lunch and dinner time frame. Then we should notice things calm down throughout the overnight hours. So by the time we get to Sunday, mostly sunny, 84 with another round of showers and storms possible for our day on Monday. But then back to sunshine Tuesday through Thursday, and we'll see your temperatures go from the mid-70s back to the 80s by the time we get to Thursday. Back to you, Rebecca.
Thanks so much, Adam. Turning back to your news now, the latest government data shows inflation edged up slightly after 12 straight months of declines. But that bump up conceals more encouraging numbers hidden in the details. Michael George explains.
The dough at Amy Shermer's bakery is rising, and the costs of some of her key ingredients are falling. The founder of Amy's Bread says eggs are now about half of what they were at the height of inflation.
We go through so many eggs that might save us $5,000 a week.
Government data out Thursday shows consumers actually paid prices that were 3.2% higher in July than a year earlier, and up a mild 0.2% from June. But underneath that banner,
we saw a lot of things come down more than analysts had hoped for. This is good news.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, driving that July increase, housing costs, which rose 0.4%, up 7.7% from a year ago. But analysts say even those figures are lagging.
Rents nationally, on average, are lower than they were a year ago. And we expect that those kinds of movements in the downward pressure on shelter will show up later this year in the government report.
Core prices, which exclude food and energy, are still heading in the right direction, and that could help convince the Federal Reserve to pause on additional rate hikes next month. Stocks rallied on those hopes early Thursday, but if inflation has proven anything, it's stubborn and slow to budge. One major decline could put some wind beneath your wings. If you're looking to squeeze in a late summer vacation, airfare is down 18.6%, and hotel costs have eased.
Now, the index is based on average prices over the month, so July's heat-driven gas price hikes will likely have more of an impact on August's inflation data.
And closer to home, the Sexual Assault Help Center is hosting a fundraiser to combat human trafficking. The event is called From Coops to Courage, where people can pick up chicken dinners this Sunday at the Hanover Fuel Stop in Martins Ferry. The $20 to-go meal includes a half-roasted chicken, mashed potatoes, corn, green beans, bread, and a slice of cake. Organizers say this event is a way for the community to do their part in helping combat human trafficking on a local level.
So right now we have human trafficking as a huge discussion, a huge topic of conversations within our community. So if you feel like you would like to not cook and come out and support a really good cause and a local organization that supports victims of human trafficking, come on out.
They are also doing an online auction and a 50-50 raffle online that you can participate in. We have that link for you set up over on WTRF.com. Again, the event is this Sunday from 11:30 to 4 p.m. at the Hanover Fuel Stop in Martins Ferry.
These may look like tables and tables of burgers, but they're actually called kibbe, and there's love and tradition in every rounded patty. Our Lady of Lebanon has been recruited to make the dish for the Lebanese festival in Ogilvie for the 90th year. And in all that time, the parish has got the assembly line down, with volunteers performing brushing and baking and packing, more than 1,500 of them. Generations of families have perfected the mix of meat and seasonings, so perfect that they keep the recipe itself under wraps.
There's Lebanese spices along with some fine bulgur wheats,
There is ground beef and ground lamb mixed together, and it's cooked in the oven with olive oil on top.
Any secrets you can share?
No.
Now, if you prefer your meat in kebab form, they'll also have lamb skewers at Sunday's festival. They say the mass scale cooking is inspired not only by tradition, but by the Holy Mother.
And the Purple Heart Parking Project reached a great milestone yesterday. The Purple Heart parking spot was dedicated at the DMV in Weirton. There is now a spot at all 26 DMV locations across the Mountain State reserved for any combat wounded veteran. The Purple Heart Parking Project was started by VFD Post 4442 and has now seen several spots be dedicated at businesses around the Ohio Valley. Local veterans say the purpose of these spots are to respect and honor those who gave the ultimate sacrifice.
You know, you ride around and you see Purple Heart signs here and there, and you just say, wow, you know, that's great.
When you see this sign, you see a car parked there, you know this veteran has shed his blood for this country, to keep this country great, free, and to keep our flag flying.
Your business is interested in being a part of the Purple Heart Parking Project and designating a space, you can call Wally McMasters at the number right there at the bottom of your screen.
Looking across the Mountain State, West Virginia University's first day of move-in for the fall 2023 semester began yesterday. New WVU students are now able to officially start moving in to their residence halls, where volunteers and WVU staff will be outside to help, and moms and dads are shedding tears right now. The university suggests to pack lightly to make the move-in process easier. The WVU move-in process will end August the 12th, and classes will start on the 16th.
Still to come this morning, it's your Lawrenceville is prepping for another stellar season this fall after going undefeated in the regular season last year. What we can expect just ahead.
And now, the Sports Zone on 7 News.
Last year, Barnesville went 10-0 to complete one of the few perfect regular seasons in program history. But despite the historic run, their season came to a close in the same fashion that most playoff teams do, with a loss.
Kids are still stinging from that loss. We were leading at halftime, down by 3 at the end of the third, and then it just got away from us in the fourth. So that the kids were really motivated by that. We thought we had a chance to win that game, so they've been working hard in the offseason with that game in mind.
In 2023, the Rocks will run it back with most of that same core, including 4 starting offensive linemen in Hank Johnson, Braden Butler, Luke Taylor, and Salvador Alvarez. Coach Allen believes his line will be their strength, which should bode well for new quarterback Casey Carpenter, who plays the position very differently than C.J. Hannes did last year.
CJ was more of a runner, a run-pass option. Casey's kind of a pure passer. He's got a good arm, so we're going to kind of adapt a little bit more to his strengths and get the ball out in space to our athletes.
Those athletes included receivers like Duker Costello, Luke Detling, and Brady McIntyre, with Tayson Starr returning in the backfield. On defense, many of those same guys will go both ways, with Blake Kirk also starting at tackle and Cam Carpenter at linebacker. For Barnesville to reach their goals this season, Captain Tayson Starr says that they need to play what he describes as Shamrock football.
It's that hard-nosed, gritty. We're going to work for everything we got. We're going to hustle. We're going to beat the man, beat the guy across from you.
Starr and his teammates will get their first opportunity to beat the man on Friday, August 18th, when they take on Buckeye Local. For 7 Sports, I'm Dugan Lloyd.
High school football previews in the 7 Sports Zone, brought to you by The Health Plan. The Gold and Blue Nation Mountaineer Minute is brought to you by Citywide Insurance and Real Estate.
Transfer guard Omar Silverio committed to the Mountaineers back in March, but despite being part of WVU's roster for the better part of 5 months, Silverio will never suit up for the Mountaineers this year. In a statement released by the program on Thursday, Silverio's appeal for a waiver request to play this season has been denied by the NCAA. In the statement, interim head coach Josh Eilert said, quote, "I know Omar is disappointed that he won't be able to compete this season as a Mountaineer and that his collegiate career is now over. He continued, all of us enjoyed our time with him and we wish him well," end quote. Silverio found himself in a similar situation as current WVU guard Jose Perez last year. Both anticipated playing for Manhattan, but that did not happen after an abrupt coaching change. Perez, who you see on your screen, has been part of the WVU program since the start of last season. Thursday's news means another roster spot has opened up on WVU's bench. Meanwhile, the WVU football team had Thursday off to recover after a couple physical days of practice. Neil Brown noted several players who have stood out through the first 7 practices on Wednesday. Offensively, wideouts Devin Carter and Rodney Gallagher III and running back Jaheim White have caught his eye, but there have been a plethora of standouts on defense, especially in the secondary. You can read all about the players who have received some early compliments here in fall camp at our website, goldandbluenation.com. That's the latest on the Mountaineers here in Morgantown. I'm Ryan Decker.
Storm Tracker 7 weather is presented by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
Well, what started off as a gloomy and wet day yesterday actually turned out quite pleasant, as we did see plenty of sunshine return for the afternoon, with our temperatures just breaking into the 80s. So we keep the sunshine for our day today, but unfortunately I can't say the same for the weekend. That's thanks to the slow pressure system that's currently developing across the northern plains, parts of the northern Midwest. Still seeing these showers and storms from Wisconsin down through Iowa, now moving into Illinois, mainly along the warm front. So as the slow pressure moves on through, we'll continue to see things looking pleasant through our day today, but unfortunately we still hold on to that back and forth pattern of showers and storms. But the good news is not for too much longer. So still a chance for showers and storms tomorrow, as well as for our day on Monday. But as we move into the middle of next week, we'll see rain chances pretty much just disappear until we get to the end of next week, but should be seeing plenty of sunshine in between rain chances and for Tuesday through Thursday next week. Though as we look across the Fort Henry Bridge, not seeing a whole lot, just a few passing clouds and our temperatures in the mid 60s. Our dew points though just closely behind in the low 60s, so still comfortable for now. Just gonna notice things likely feeling very warm and sticky by the time we get to the afternoon, as most of us break back into the 80s today. So 82 here in Wheeling, with our warm spot of 85 up into Chester and our cool spot of 80 down onto Woodsfield. So clear start to the morning. Feel these high cirrus clouds rolling late this morning and for the early afternoon. By the time we get to noon, we'll start to see these fair weather cumulus clouds bubble up as we see those cirrus clouds move out. So good news is we keep things dry throughout the day today, but going to notice changes to both our temperatures and precipitation for our day tomorrow. Everyone likely gets back into the mid and upper 80s. So 86 here in Wheeling, with our warm spot of 89 up into Chester, and our cool spot of 84 into Woodsfield, up through Barnesville, and on over into Millersburg. That temperature increase is thanks to the warm front that will move through Saturday. Well, tomorrow morning could bring us some clouds, maybe a stray shower during the early morning hours, but most of us will likely stay dry, just seeing increasing clouds until we get to the afternoon. So by the time I say we get to that noon to 2 time frame, we'll see these showers and storms try to develop along I-77, so noon, so New Philadelphia, down to parts of Guernsey County, and even into Noble and Monroe County, but notice these darker shades of pink and purple. Any of those storms with clusters could produce some heavy downpours and some gusty winds, but the good news is those move out pretty quickly, so by 1:30, that first round of activity is out, but by dinner time, so let's call that 6 p.m., could see a few more showers and storms trying to move on through like Harrison and Jefferson County through the northern panhandle. Once again, any of those could produce some heavy downpours, some small hail, and heavy and gusty winds as well. And even through the evening and overnight hours, still seeing a few showers and storms linger around, but I'm not expecting to see anything too bad with those. But Storm Prediction Center does have much of the area highlighted in a slight risk, so a 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. Our impact should just be those gusty winds, heavy downpours, maybe some small hail with any of those more those isolated storms, but that chance is pretty low, with mainly just lightning, heavy rain, and gusty winds as our main threat. Sunshine 84 for our day on Sunday, but then we're back to scattered showers and storms for our day on Monday. But look at the middle of next week. We'll see the return of sunshine, temperatures in the mid 70s on Tuesday, but then back to the 80s by the time we get to Thursday, but still holding on to that sunshine. Back to you two.
All right, Adam, thanks. The time is 5:49 as we take a look at what's trending this morning. It's been over 3 months now since the writers began their strike, and it hasn't slowed down. But could there be signs of some good things to come?
Sam Rubin explains the details in this morning's entertainment report.
Now, as we pass 100 days on the picket lines for striking writers, is there a new glimmer of hope? Another meeting between producers and writers has been scheduled. The get-together will take place on Friday afternoon at 2 p.m. Why the producers always insist on Friday afternoons for these meetings is a mystery to me. The real mystery: will producers budge on their initial refusal to address writers' demands about artificial intelligence and minimum staffing requirements for TV shows? In the past, producers say both those issues were, quote, non-starters. Writers Guild says a deal cannot be made until both those issues are addressed. Speaking of television series, this series having a moment years after it went off the air. It went off the air in 2019. Of course, we're talking about Suits.
Why don't we go out and celebrate?
We're all in the same boat now.
I'm taking full control as managing partner.
Are you serious?
From now on, it's Are You Serious, Ma'am?
And now one of the writers of Suits, a man named Ethan Drogan, has penned a column in the Los Angeles Times about the show, shedding some light about how much the recent resurgence of the series has affected his livelihood. One of the biggest issues the writers on strike are taking up with studios are residuals from streaming services. So with this big resurgence, 3.1 billion viewing minutes in a week, that residual check would be pretty big, right? Wrong. This from Ethan from the LA Times. $259.71. That's how much the Suits episode I wrote, Identity Crisis, earned last quarter in streaming residuals altogether. NBC Universal paid the 6 original Suits writers less than $3,000 last quarter to stream the 11 episodes in all of season 1 on 2 platforms. And one thing that Netflix is trying to get out there, they're the innocent party. Netflix made a deal with Universal, and it's Universal that is paying the writers or underpaying them. That is your entertainment report here in Hollywood. I'm Sam Rubin.
That was Look at What's Trending this morning.
Coming up, we'll bring you all of the things you need to know before you go this morning. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is 7 News This Morning with Taylor Long, Rebecca Little, Storm Tracker 7 weather with meteorologist Adam Fike.
Welcome back, everyone. The time is 5:54 on your Friday.
And it's time to bring you the things you need to know before you go this morning. Authorities say 45-year-old Hardy Carol Lloyd was taken into custody early yesterday, and according to the criminal complaint, Lloyd began commenting online about the federal hate crimes trial of the Tree of Life synagogue mass shooter. You can visit our website for more details on this story.
And at least 55 are dead and dozens are hurt as wildfires continue to rage across parts of Hawaii. Strong winds from Hurricane Dora are fanning 3 separate wildfires on the island of Maui. Among the issues, cell phone towers are down and there's no power.
Compared to last year, overall results are showing 44% of West Virginia students are proficient in English, which is a 2% increase, and in math, another 2% increase with 35% proficiency. Grade 7 was the only grade to see a drop from 41% to 39%.
And here's a live look outside over Moundsville, where it's a calm and pleasant start to the morning. We even see people outside already trying to get a good seat and watch that sunrise. So pretty pleasant, calm conditions to start our morning. We should see just a few passing high clouds this morning, as well as a few of those low-level clouds early, but should see plenty of sunshine throughout the afternoon. Weekend off starts a little bit rocky as we could see showers and storms return tomorrow afternoon. Just know that any of those could produce some heavy downpours, gusty winds, and some small hail possible. Sunday, mostly sunny, 84, with another round of showers and storms possible for our day on Monday, but then back to sunshine and temperatures increasing from the mid-70s back to the 80s, still sunny for our day on Thursday. And of course, don't forget to download the Storm Tracker 7 weather app to have everything you need to know on the go. And tune into our Storm Tracker 7 radio partners at WKKX, the Watchdog on 1600 AM. And it's time for our Loving Living local photos of the day. These first few sent in from Amanda Lynn. We have a couple swallowtail butterflies. We have a bee, close up of a bee, of a bumblebee.
I'm not scared of bumblebees. It's the wasps that scare me.
Every time I see a bumblebee, I just immediately start singing the song in my head. I won't
There's
sing
a
it because
bumblebee song?
I'm bringing home my baby,
Oh my
bumblebee. I was gonna say I wasn't gonna sing it because I suck at singing, but you.
I needed it. I needed to know that song.
Oh,
I had to
love
know.
that song. That makes me feel better about bees, doesn't it, though?
Yeah. Well, like the Bee movie's always on Nick at Night.
Oh,
Every time I lay my head
I
down.
haven't seen that movie in
Oh
forever.
my
I've
gosh,
never
it's
seen
so
it fully, but it's interesting.
Oh, it's so cute.
And these next ones from Greta Foos of another butterfly, a hummingbird, and a hummingbird moth.
Wow.
Oh, I was gonna say, is that like
What
a
good pictures.
genetic bee, like a crossbreed between like a
moth?
butterfly and a bee?
I don't know.
Pretty cool.
I think Greta might be a professional photographer, for goodness
These
sakes.
should be in books.
Those are gorgeous.
Everyone sends in photos, always sends in
Come
these great
on.
photos.
Oh my goodness.
And we'd love to see photos from your community. If you want to get in on the fun, you could send your photos over to news@WTRF.com or message them to our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Just be sure to include your name, your location, and your picture description.
And that's all the time we have this hour.
We'll
Thinking
see
it's
you
this
back.
morning.
Got it. We'll see you back here in a couple minutes with more news, sports, and weather. We'll be right back.
Seven News on WTRF has been brought to you by Bordas and Bordas.
Coming up